And we're back with Congressman Devin Nunes, ranking member of the House Intel Committee. He is author of the book Countdown to Socialism. Also, Kash Patel is here. They worked together to expose the Russian collusion hoax to America many times on this program. Congressman, I want to ask you about the revelation that we have on Peter Strzok's wife, Joe Biden, naming her to the head of the Enforcement Division for the Securities and Exchange Commission. We still don't know if Peter Strzok is going to get any accountability for his role in following this made-up story of Russia collusion with Donald Trump. Your reaction?
Well, if you look at what happened to Kleinsmith, the lawyer that knowingly lied, that was clear, that pled guilty, it looks like Peter Strzok is actually probably going to get reimbursed for all of his troubles, probably going to get paid above and beyond. You know, the guy lost his job, but nothing's happened to him to this point. I'm obviously being sarcastic, but, you know, I have no idea if you let this lawyer off that was actually doctoring evidence, how is anybody else going to ever pay the price? Now, look, I don't know this guy's wife. Maybe she's great. She could be a great public servant for all I know. But if you look at the larger picture, the Russia hoaxers, the people that were pushing this out from the very beginning and then lying about it after the fact, they're all at the top echelons of the Biden administration. So these were former Obama officials, lied, made up the Russia hoax, put it out there for 4 years, were all over social media, and now they've been rewarded. I mean, if you look at the Defense Department, within the White House, the National Security Council, it's full of what I like to call, we call it the Russia hoax, but it's even more than that because it was so outrageous, Maria. Remember, they're really like P-tape hoaxers. Remember all the nasty stuff that supposedly happened in Moscow? This was not believable to anyone unless you had a sick, demented mind. These people knew that this was written by Fusion GPS. They knew that they were putting it out to willing people within the media that would take and run with these narratives. And look, they'll deny this, but the FBI knew damn well, and the DOJ, there was a small cadre of them. They knew this was all a lie, and they were all part of it. And now the first guy that had been indicted just skated. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's right. Kash, you know, what you have is the same group that abused power in 2016 and 2017 are back in power. And it's extraordinary to me that these people abused power and turned our incredibly important intelligence agencies into weapons against their political enemies. And it's the Republicans that are being blacklisted, and the conservatives being told, you can't have a book deal. You can't come and speak at Harvard. Your point of view doesn't matter and will not be heard in the public square. You worked at the Pentagon, Kash, and now we know that the Pentagon has stopped political appointments for any Trump allies to join defense advisory boards. It was supposed to be that Corey Lewandowski and David Bossie were going to be joining the Defense Advisory Board. That's been shelved. They can no longer do it, and the Pentagon is stopping anybody associated with Trump from joining these advisory boards.
You're absolutely right, Maria. I mean, this is a perfect example of the hypocrisy of the Biden administration. Their call for unity is a joke. If you start with what we started this conversation with, Strzok and Kleinsmith, I'm sure Kleinsmith's on his way to getting a presidential pardon, and maybe he'll be the next attorney general. There's one set of rules for them, and there's a different set of rules for us. Now, turning to the Defense Department, that's a great example. And you just named two individuals. Chris Miller and I appointed, scores of individuals, maybe hundreds, as we're entitled to the defense boards that help advise the Defense Department from business, innovation, science, technology, and policy. Now, here's the kicker, Maria. These appointments were all signed by Secretary of Defense Chris Miller. They are a legal standing order that is being actually ignored. And I'll give you one worse example, Maria. I was actually sworn in to the Defense Policy Board, and I received an email from the White House Liaison Office, which is a group of small people that represent the White House at the Defense Department for the Biden administration, that said, even though you were sworn in, we are pausing your onboarding process. I don't know where they get the constitutional ground to do that or the gall, but this call for unity is garbage. And I'll give you one stark example that struck me on my way out of the Pentagon. They terminated my employees who were on paternity and maternity leave because they were appointees by President Trump. If we did that, that would be a travesty of justice, and it would be an internal investigation for months, if not years to come. How can you terminate the employment of someone who has taken maternity or paternity leave to take care of their newborn? It is simply outrageous conduct, and this call for unity is garbage.
Unbelievable. Well, you have to believe that to be true until President Biden